Yessica De Ávila with this week's Yesi Style, where I'm live at the New York Times travel show. If you want a place to go, this is the place to be.
Duma Explorer is a company that has been existing for a good 16 years with an extremely good reputation on the ground. What we do is we welcome you from when you arrive into Kilimanjaro International Airport until you depart again to your homeland. We do safaris covering the highlights of Tanzania, national parks like the famous Tarangire, Lake Manyara, Ngorongoro, Serengeti. Chaka camps is camps that started about 6 years ago. They are located in these national parks that I've just mentioned.
There are lots of different culture and different landscape in Taiwan.
You can find literally all kinds of food in Taiwan, and it's really cheap but very good quality. If you come to Taiwan, that you don't want to miss the night market.
We've been to Africa, my wife and I, 7 times in the last 9 years. We have really gotten used to donating school supplies and bringing our friends with them. We live in the New York area. This past trip, we did Uganda, we did Tanzania, and we did Zanzibar. For Uganda, we always heard about gorilla trekking. You see it on cable TV. We got to do the real deal. We got to go visit a pygmy tribe, and we got to see some very poor people that our next project to raise clothing for, not even books, okay? In Tanzania, if you're not familiar with it, Tanzania has something called Ngorongoro Crater. It's a volcano that collapsed. So there's an ecosystem 2,000 feet below normal ground level. To go there is a privilege. You get to see an entire set of animals that you haven't seen before. In addition to that, we actually flew up to the Kenya-Tanzania border, and we stayed for 3 days in the Serengeti. And if you know anything about the annual Great Migration, it's 2 million wildebeest and 500,000 zebras going from north to south in a big circle. We did it, and basically most people aren't as fortunate as we are. There are 11 crossing stations on the Mara River, 5 miles apart. People drive back and forth all day long, hoping that the wildebeest will cross over. On our last day at 4 o'clock, and my wife has the video to back it up, we saw 10,000 wildebeest aggregate together and cross over. Even our guide, and interesting enough, our guide's name was Barack. Very cute. We were looking at Barack. He's not related to Barack Obama, but he was on the intercom after that screaming to all his guide friends that this was the...
We've been in business about 20 years. We do customized and private tours to Southern Africa, mainly focusing on South Africa. But one of the main motivations of our company is people-to-people tourism. We believe in community. We have a word in Zulu in South Africa, Ubuntu, I am because of you. So we love to show people the safari, number one, and the draw card, which brings people to Africa, but why people come back to Africa will be the people that they meet.
Basically, if people want to visit Abu Dhabi, first of all, they need to know that Abu Dhabi is the name that is literally means the father of gazelle. Second of all, Abu Dhabi is the capital of the United Arab Emirates, and it's the biggest in size amongst the all other Emirates. Other than that, it owns up to 200 islands, and some of them are man-made and the other are made by nature. It has really good number of visitors to it because they're always interested to know about the culture, the tradition, the hospitality of the United Arab Emirates, the women specifically, Emirati women, and all of these things.
This is Yesi Style with En La Escena on the street. Take me to Cartagena, Colombia. Eso. So thank you for inviting us here. Tell me a little bit about Colombia and why I should visit there.
Well, Colombia, as you know, it's a country that has turned itself around from what people know in the 90s. 3 decades ago, it's turned itself around. It's now an exciting destination. It's growing tremendously. We're here at the New York Times Travel Show, where people have come and told us that they visited Colombia recently or they're planning a vacation in the next few months. So that really shows how people are interested, how perception is changing, and why is that as well? Why does Colombia have to offer? It's a mega diverse country. We're the second most diverse country in the world, Brazil. So we have mountains, we have the Caribbean, the Pacific, we have all these different destinations within Colombia, Bogota, Medellin, the coffee region, Cali, Cartagena. So a wide variety of experiences of all kinds.
Is there a specific month of the year that it's better to travel to Colombia, where it's maybe not as congested or it's better weather?
Well, Colombia is a year-long destination because we're in the equator. There's no seasons, so you can visit any time of the year. We are synchronized with the travel seasons of the United States. So summer and winter would be our peak seasons. Right. What happens there is that the airfare goes a little bit up. Right. So usually if you want to save a couple of bucks, it's better to travel in the shoulder season and avoid that.
Box is a new breed of meal kit company. We basically have no subscriptions and we bring restaurant quality food to your house so you can cook in 20 minutes.
What kind of foods are we talking?
We only talk about international foods. So we have the Thai, the chicken, all the Thai dishes, all the Chinese dishes, and all the Indian dishes right now. What happens is this meal kit comes to you go online like a restaurant with no subscriptions. You pick your products off online. Then you decide, I want Indian, Thai, Chinese, whatever. It comes to your house in a box. You open it up, you take your protein and you throw it in the freezer, your chicken, shrimp, your tofu, and you take your vegetable stuff and you stick it in the refrigerator. Eventually you're going to get hungry over the next 2 weeks. So you pop it out of there, 20 minutes you cook it up, you pop a bottle of wine, and everybody's eating and relaxed at home.
I'm Celia Andrade, and I am from Iguaçu Falls, Brazil. Iguaçu Falls is located in the south of Brazil, bordering with Argentina and Paraguay. Iguaçu Falls is a cluster of waterfalls from 275 waterfalls located inside a national park. It's not the first time, but we came back from 2 years that we didn't come, and it's very important for us.
Kenya is a magical country. Kenya is a beautiful country. You can move from a desert to a temperate climate. Places like Mount Kenya is quite high. They are cool. We have coffee and teas. And then we have the middle, lower, where you have the grasslands and the savanna, where we have all the wildebeest migrations at Masai Mara, Amboseli, Savo, Samburu, Mount Kenya, Meru, and the culture. Kenya has 42 indigenous tribes, each with their authentic cultures. So Kenya is a melting pot of all diversity. We also have the influence of the Indians and the Arabs and the Europeans and the Portuguese. You can pretty much say in Kenya is where you can experience where Africa meets East, West, South. Yeah, I can say that.
I found my destination. Did you find yours? This is Yessica De Ávila with Yesi Style on En La Escena on the Scene.